believe we're in the same city as last night. It was 93 degrees at first pitch last night. It's 57 as fans make their way into Target Field tonight. They'll see the return of Denard Span back in center field, back in the leadoff spot for Minnesota as he's off of the disabled list in time for tonight's game. Welcome inside Target Field with former Twins manager Tom Kelly. I'm Anthony LaPanta. Denard Span is back in the lineup. Ben Revere will also play. He just slides over to right field. He's one of the many young players trying to solidify a roster spot for next year.
Correct.
Have you seen enough from Ben Revere this year to pencil him into your everyday lineup next season?
Yeah, I love Ben Revere. I'm a Ben Revere fan. I think he adds a lot of excitement to our ball club and our lineup. He can run like the wind, and we all love him when he's running the bases. He dives, he makes plays in the outfield, he jumps up against the wall. I'm not so sure he knew he'd catch some of these balls, but he catches them, and I think he's going to be better as a hitter as he goes. Now, don't misunderstand me. I like Denard, and if we can find a way to get both of them in the game at the same time, I think it adds that speed element that we need and create some excitement for the big boys behind him.
After peaking with his average over 330 about 6 weeks ago, Revere had hit a bit of a slump, but last night 3 hits pushed that number back up to 304. Revere's in right, Span's in center. P.J. Walters is on the mound. Can he slow down this Royals club that pounded out 16 hits last night?
North is brought to you by your local Northland Ford dealers. Visit your local Northland Ford dealer or go to northlandford.com. By Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. And by Burger King. Come play family food where every game piece has a prize.
The Twins hope to recover from a disappointing ball game last night and still win this series against the Kansas City Royals. Game 2 coming up in just a couple of minutes, and we welcome you to Target Field. Dick and Bert with you for Game 2 and the Twins are hoping that P.J. Walters can somehow find the form he had when his major league season started back in May.
Yeah, that in early May where Walters really pitched well in the first 4 starts, but then some shoulder problems put him on a disabled list. He's coming off a start in Chicago where he gave up a couple long balls to Alex Rios, a grand slam, and a pitch to Rios that he hit a 2-run home run. Biggest thing for Walters, let's find out from his pitching coach Rick Anderson how Walters should go about tonight.
We always focus on strike one, but his biggest thing is changing speeds and pitching back and forth a little bit. And as you saw, the first time back, you kind of throw that one out. In Chicago, he was getting behind the count, walking guys, and that's not him. And his whole focus and he talks about when he goes into a game is strike one and go from there. And if he's strike one and using all his pitches and slowing it down, speeding it up, he should be fine.
Well, the audition continues for the Twins as far as finding starters for next year. Hopefully Walters will be one of those.
Twins welcome back Denard Span into the starting lineup. The Twins lineup tonight about as fast a lineup as they can put on the field, but the Kansas City catcher, Salvador Perez, so good he can shut down the running game.
Boy, and he did in last night's ball game in a double steal. He threw behind and got Jamie Carroll at second base, and later in the ball game, Mastroianni trying to steal third, thrown out. This young man, only 22 years old. He's fun to watch, not only defensively, but also offensively, hitting .315. And remember, his season really didn't start until late June. He started the season on a disabled list with left knee surgery.
Well, the Twins started this homestand with a disappointing ball game in the series opener against Cleveland. They came back to win the rest of the series and win the series. They'll try to do that tonight after a disappointing game last night. P.J. Walters will hope to give them a good start in Game 2. And the fans decked out in fleece and stocking caps and all that, hoping for a better ball game. Here's the Menard batting order for the Royals. David Lowe leading off. Alcides Escobar batting second, then Alex Gordon, Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, Mike Moustakas, Lorenzo Cain, Eric Hosmer, and Johnny Giavotella.
And for the first time, P.J. Walters will be facing the Kansas City Royal organization. Walters making his 9th start, his first career start against KC, and talked a little bit about his outing last time out, his first start since coming off rehab down at AAA. Walters, making his 9th start and his 13th career start.
Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Good to have Denard Span back in the middle of the outfield. That pushes Ben Revere to right. Ryan Doman in left. Jamie Carroll, Pedro Florimon, Alexi Casilla, and Justin Morneau, the infielders. And Drew Butera behind the plate. Josh Willingham is the designated hitter. Span missing a couple of weeks after an awkward attempt at catching a ball here at Target Field in short center field. Looking forward to playing regularly here in the final 3 weeks.
Yeah, good to have Denard back in that lineup and out in center field.
David Lowe will lead things off for the Royals.
Yeah, Lowe, a September call-up. He got his first major league hit against the Twins in Kansas City. Spent the whole season down in Omaha, a September call-up. Hit .275 down there.
And Walters delivers strike one. There's nothing overpowering about Walters if you don't remember what he featured when he was successful in May into June. He has to hit his spots. He needs to change speeds, change eye angles, all the things you hear about pitchers needing to do. He needs to do all of them.
Yeah, like Samuel Deduno, when he's out on that mound, you're not going to see the catcher move much. Where Walters, you're going to see Drew Butera move in and out, trying to create that perfect pitch.
And on an 0-2 pitch, Lowe just pokes it in front of Domet for a leadoff single.
Not a bad pitch right there. Lowe hitting a pretty good pitch down and away.
You know, if we drop another 36 degrees for tomorrow's game, it might be snowing. It was uncomfortably muggy last night, and maybe to some uncomfortably cool tonight. Alcides Escobar will follow up Lowe here in the first inning. Swing and a miss, and Butera nearly got Lowe at first base. That's Salvador Perez's game, picking runners off base.
Well, Lowe has some speed. He stole some bases down in AAA. 26 stolen bases in 30 attempts. So Butera throwing behind and Lowe getting back safely.
One strike to Escobar, and strike two. So Walters will try again with a hitter up there on an 0-2 count.
Mentioned last night, Kansas City Royals, very young ball club. A lot of young, talented offensive players. Third highest batting average in the American League. They come into this ball game hitting .269, and Walters picks up a strikeout. Escobar chasing a high fastball. Walters picking up his first strike, his 28th of the season in 42 innings pitched.
When you only throw in the upper 80s, you're not going to be able to survive up there, up and out of the strike zone very often, but he's able to get it by Escobar for the first out of the inning. Here's Alex Gordon.
Yeah, we saw him earlier in May. His fastball clocked about 91. He'll top out about 90, 91 right in there.
Breaking ball. Well, his strike to ball ratio is non-existent because he hasn't thrown a ball yet. 7 pitches, 7 strikes.
Walters, 27 years old, in his first season with the Twins.
8 pitches, 8 strikes.
One of the pitchers that Terry Ryan went out during the winter and signed as a free agent. Has some major league experience prior to being with the Twins, with the Cardinals and the Blue Jays. Made 4 starts with the Cardinals in 3 years.
Lazy fly ball to center and Span over. Taking the catch for out number 2.
Well, Walters right now a pitching machine. 8 for 8, throwing strikes.
Sanford Health Injury Report. Joe Mauer missing his 2nd consecutive game with back spasms. Ron Gardenhire held out some hope that things might loosen up. He might be able to play tomorrow. Just a guess on my part. Whenever Joe comes back, it might be as a designated hitter, not a catcher. I would think if your back is recovering from back spasms,
Might be tough to get into a crouch 150 times during a game. Here's Butler. My goodness, 10 pitches, 10 strikes.
Saw that pitch right there kind of go east to west, you know, and then that type of a breaking ball. He'll also throw that curveball that goes more north to south. Lowe has attempted only one stolen base, and he was successful. Royals like to run like the Twins, 116 stolen bases on the year. They've been caught 33 times.
First pitch out of the strike zone. It's 1-1.
Take him out of the game.
1-1 to Butler. Chopper left side. Carroll goes to second. That takes care of the first inning. It's a good first inning for P.J. Walters. Royals down quickly on a dozen pitches. We'll see if the Twins can give their starters some early run support like the Royals gave theirs last night. Denard Span leading off the Menards batting order. Ben Revere, Josh Willingham, Justin Morneau, Ryan Doumit, Jamie Carroll hitting sixth. Then Alexi Casilla, Drew Butera, and Pedro Florimon.
And that lineup will face Luke Hochshaver. Hochshaver making his fourth start against the Twins this season. He was roughed up a couple starts ago in Kansas City against the Twins, and his second start here at Target Field.
Span back in the lineup, back in the leadoff spot, and he takes low. Ball one.
Twins facing a pitcher, Hochshaver, that's really been struggling. Over his last 7 starts, 0-4 with an ERA at almost 6.
Strike on the outside corner, 1-1.
Hochshaver's last win coming July 31st in Kansas City against the Indians.
Poke foul. Carroll hitting sixth for a reason. He's hitting nearly 500 against him. Some impressive numbers in there. Casilla 9 for 24.
Yeah, he's making his 4th start. He's given up 6 home runs to the Twins in the 3 previous starts. A couple to Joe Mauer, 1 to Willingham, 2 to Parmalee, and 1 to Mastroianni. On the season, Hochshaver has given up 23 home runs.
Winless in his last 7 starts, hoping to end that streak today. Span to right center field. And that's going to go all the way to the wall. Span's got 2. He'll take 3.
A leadoff triple in his return to the lineup.
All the previous pitches were fastballs, and then the curveball, which he left up, and Span jumped all over it. So Span with his 4th triple of the year. Good way to come back, Bernard Span, off the disabled list.
So Span with a leadoff triple. Corner infielders will play even with the bases. Middle infielders back for Revere. Outside, ball 1. Hochevar trying to pick up his first win in 8 starts. He's also trying to pay back the Twins for the shortest start of his major league career in Kansas City. Twins knocked him out with 8 early runs. 2-0.
Yeah, in the first inning, a grand slam by Joe Mauer. Twins took a 4-0 lead, and then Chris Parmley hitting a 3-run home run off of him in the second.
Slap to third, and Moustakas fires across Revere. Can't get the run in. We'll see if Willingham can. Northland Ford defense for the Royals. Alex Gordon, Lorenzo Cain, David Lowe, the outfielders. Moustakas at third, Escobar at short. A very good fielding left side of the infield. Giavotella, Hosmer on the right side, Perez behind the plate. Throughout the game yesterday, and it was a lopsided game, but the Twins had their chances early and did not execute well in situations like this. Runner at third, less than 2 out. We'll see if Willingham can get Span in from third base. A big pop-up in foul ground. Moustakas tracking it, and not sure he got to the right spot. Not sure he would have been able to catch it if he were there, but that ball traveled up the field a little bit farther than he thought. 1 strike.
Well, that's definitely an out in Oakland right there. Where Josh played last year, he still gets another chance to pick up his 103rd RBI.
One strike to Willingham. On the outside corner, 0-2.
One thing that pitching coach Dave Island is trying to get Hochevar to do is eliminate some of his pitches. He has like 5 pitches in his repertoire, and they're trying to just get him to concentrate on control of the fastball, then the curveball, and a changeup. He'll throw a cutter. He wants to throw a cutter. He wants to throw a sinking fastball.
Ooh.
Not missing by much there. Never know what that home plate umpire will give you.
Oh, boy.
And a pitcher's pitch not called. And Bellino behind the plate.
1-2 with Perez setting up in the same spot. 2-2. Last night in the first 5 innings, the Twins had the first 2 batters reach 3 times and didn't get 1 run out of it.
Well, they ran themselves out of a couple innings and then also hit into a couple double plays. But that was last night. Hopefully Willingham can drive in Span.
2-2 to the right field corner. Chased by Lowe. Out of play.
Hochevar, 28 years old. He's in his 6th season with the Royals, making his 125th Major League start. Has only 37 Major League wins. He has 56 losses.
Yeah, he turns
career ERA at 5.3.
He turns 29 on Saturday. So this is not some 24-year-old youngster anymore. Perez sets up inside. Willingham takes ball 3 with Morneau on deck.
There are the numbers right there, making his 125th Major League start, and an 11-game winner last year. That was the most that he's won at the Major League level.
Full count to the Twins' designated hitter. That'll work. Base hit left center field. Span will score. Willingham drives in the first run of the game.
And for Willingham, every run he drives in is a career high. His 103rd RBI on the season. Fastball that ran back in on Willingham. He lines it in the left field for an RBI single.
That'll bring up Morneau. When the Twins knocked Hochevar out in the second inning in Kansas City earlier this month, Morneau didn't get to enjoy much of the fun that night. He bounced into a double play in the first inning and struck out in the second. In and around those at bats, the Twins scored 8 runs in the first 2 innings. Swing and a miss at a high fastball.
Justin, you can see the average now at 280. He has really fought back to get that average up. Over his last 62 ball games, Justin hitting .326.
Missing again at another fastball.
Yeah, fastball at 94 up in the strike zone, and Hochevar, who is a strikeout pitcher, picks up his 125th strikeout of the year in 163 innings pitched.
And now Ryan Doman. Inside, the tarp was on the field most of the afternoon today, so no on-field hitting, but of course the cages here at Target Field allow both teams to get some swings in. Another off-speed pitch over for a strike.
You know, what's nice about all these new ballparks over at the Metrodome, it was like one cage, and you kind of had to share it with the other team.
That was way down in the right field corner.
And here, it's right behind the dugouts is a very nice hitting cage for both teams.
Keeping him honest with a fastball inside. 2-1. Already 20 pitches for Hochevar. All the frustration Twins fans have felt about Francisco Liriano. Well, he's a different type of pitcher, but Royals fans have been equally as frustrated with this young man.
Well, you just don't know who you're going to get. The guy that shut out the Tampa Bay Rays with David Price in a great pitching matchup not too long ago, or a guy that got beat up by the Twins 2 starts ago.
2-2 to Domet. Chop to Hosmer. An easy play as he steps on the bag. Twins get a leadoff triple from Denard Span and turn it into a run.
Vince Mikowski. Major League Baseball earlier today announced the 2013 schedule, and the Twins for the first time are going to open the season here at Target Field, which should be Justin Verlander and the Detroit Tigers coming to Target Field. And as we get a look at a few of the schedule notes, they're going to have a back-to-back series against Milwaukee. Both are two-game series. First at Milwaukee, the May 27th and 28th, then back here to Target Field. 20 interleague games, and of course the New York Yankees are coming to town next season. Dick and Bert. One thing Ron Gardhire noted: 20 straight games leading into the All-Star break next year, and 20 games in a row to finish next season. So it's going to be an interesting one toward the stretch run.
Thank you, Robbie Perez, with a fly ball to center. Span with the catch. You know, we're eagerly awaiting this schedule because of the revision. Houston coming over to the American League. It's going to be an interleague series every day of the season next year. And so we wondered, you know, how deep we would be playing National League teams. The Twins will be done with all the interleague games by June 26th. So it won't be, in that regard, much different. Here's another pop fly to short center. Florimone out, Span in, and he catches another one, 2 away. In terms of wrapping up the National League part of the Twins schedule, they'll be done about the same time they have been all these years.
Yeah, you got to like right around the 4th of July. The Yankees are going to be in for a 4-game series starting July 1st to the 4th of July.
Two quick outs here in the second inning. And Lorenzo Cain will hit. Cain threatened to hit for the cycle last night, but failed in his bid in his last 2 plate appearances to hit a home run. It's an interesting schedule, and it's available online. I'm sure the Twins will make copies of it available here at the ballpark. FoxSportsNorth.com has the schedule. Twins open the season at home, and they finish the season at home. Swing, a miss, 0-2.
Open the season April 1st against the Tigers and end it September 29th. That's a Sunday against the Cleveland Indians.
Twins finish the season with a week-long homestand, 3 with Detroit, 4 with Cleveland. 1-2. Walters working quickly, throwing strikes. 20 pitches. Takes care of the Royals in the first 2 innings. Fan guide to register for a chance to win a VIP experience for 2 to a 2012 World Series game presented by Scotts, the official lawn care company of MLB. Jamie Carroll will lead off the second against Luke Hochevar. And Carroll takes a strike.
Yeah, Jamie Carroll, for some reason, sees Holshaver very, very well. 6 hits in 13 at-bats. A .462 batting average.
Strike 2. Up and away, 1-2.
Opponents coming in at a ball game hitting .271 off of Holshaver. Again, he's given up 23 home runs. Left-handers hitting .290, right-handers .250.
Pulled foul. You mentioned it before. The Royals, specifically pitching coach Dave Island, want Holshaver to cut back on his number of pitches and focus on 3, maybe 4, and make those quality pitches rather than having 5 or 6 different options.
Well, it's really nothing new. I know Bob McClure, who's been his pitching coach up to this year, told me the same thing over the years about Holshaver. You know, Dave Island, now the new pitching coach, just trying to get him just to focus on mainly the fastball and get that curveball over.
Busted bat and a roller to Escobar, 1 away.
That was a breaking ball right there. They got the ground ball out.
KCA coming to the plate. Tomorrow night, the Twins and Royals will be holding court at Target Field. It's a Sports Authority value pack game. Purchase a ticket in the U.S. Bank Home Run Porch View seats, and you'll get a free Schweigert hot dog and a Pepsi. You can call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com. The problem, and I'm sure McClure went through it too, is Island seems to be disconnected with Holshaver as to what it's going to take to get him to turn the corner. Where Island says, look, let's cut back on your cutter. Let's just throw it 5% of the time because it's affecting your other pitches. And we've heard that before about the cutter. If you overthrow it, it can take a little off your fastball.
Especially when you start throwing it and you have success with it. You know, you'll see pitchers get away from what their most important pitch, and that's the fastball. Control of the fastball. Sometimes pitchers will come up with a split finger. They'll fall in love with it, and all of a sudden, there goes the fastball.
Right.
So everything keys off the fastball. The other ones are your out pitch. You get ahead with good control of the fastball.
2-1 to KCA, and now 2-2.
There's a quick breaking ball right there in a fastball situation. Now this is a tight breaking ball that he throws. Now fastball in.
Ouch.
Good pitch.
Escobar throws low. Hosmer digs it out number 2. Well, you've said that for years, if you'd like to see a pitcher throw either the slider or the curve, but not both.
It's hard to master. Name somebody that's in the Hall of Fame that control both of them.
Drew Butero will hit. Butero getting the chance to catch today.
You have to master one before you can throw the other. And Holshaver has a good curveball. It's at times, you know, unhittable. But now you're throwing, you know, all of a sudden you start thinking out there. Look at that. That's a great pitch right there. Fastball for strike 1. He did the same thing to KCA. Fastball away, strike 1. Then he got him out with a fastball inner half of the plate.
Holshaver's response to Island's suggestion is, look, I'm going to work on eliminating the mistakes that I'm throwing, not limiting the pitches I'm throwing the mistakes with. So there's a little bit of a headbutt there between the pitcher and the pitching coach. 1-2.
Well, that might be the reason why he's 7-13 with an ERA at 5.4.
Gutierrez slashes it to right field. Another 2-strike base hit for the Twins. Gutierrez aboard with a 2-out single. And before Florimone comes to the plate, you can join Olympic gold medalist Kevin Love for basketball instruction and fun at the inaugural Kevin Love Basketball Pro Camp, September 22nd and 23rd at Eden Prairie High School. For more information and to register, visit foxsportsnorth.com and click on the upcoming events banner. Now Florimone.
fouled back.
Flormona, switch hitter, hitting .260 as a left-handed hitter, .241 from the right side.
Inside, 1-1. Saw Flormona here a couple nights ago drive the ball to the opposite field to the warning track twice from the left side of the plate. Breaking ball down and in. I think the best pitch, the best game I've ever seen Hochevar pitch was a couple years ago. I believe it was here, first year to this ballpark, and Jason Kendall, the veteran catcher, just pretty much took control of the game. Two and one. 3-1. He ran to the mound every time he felt Hochevar was slipping away from him a little bit, and the veteran catcher nursed Hochevar through a brilliant outing against the Twins.
Well, he's had some good outings against the Twins. He's had some rough outings against the Twins. 4 wins, 5 losses over his career. He's making his 15th career start against the Twins. An ERA at 5.5.
And a fastball right down Broadway, and Flormona fouled it back.
Out of the 14 starts, 8 quality starts against the Twins.
Full count with 2 gone. Butera will take off early from first. And Flormona strikes out. Hochevar pitches a scoreless second. It's still 1-0 Twins. Brought to you by Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Grand Casino, the best stories start here. Good start for the Twins. Good start for P.J. Walters as he set down the Royals through 2 innings on just 20 pitches, and he delivers strike 1 to Eric Hosmer. That looked to be a curveball that went northeast to southwest.
I tell you, he's got a sweeper here tonight. That ball's breaking big for him. Good fastball inside. Hosmer in yesterday's ball game hit some shots when that pitch was down and away. Butera sitting inside.
Over the course of the game, we saw P.J. Walters watching the events unfold last night, And Butera calling a game like he was paying attention last night, too, as they're really working Hosmer over inside. Last night, he was just reaching across the plate and hitting everything hard.
There are some hitters that are divers, and they say Hosmer, those at-bats he had last night are the best he's had in a long, long time.
3-2 to Hosmer.
Kansas City still feels that this guy right here could be a number 3 or 4 hitter in their lineup, but right now, Ned Yost has him hitting 8th in the lineup.
And Walters upset that he just issued a leadoff walk.
Well, Hosmer last night against Alex Burnett, only the 4th home run that Burnett has allowed, and the first one here at Target Field, taking that breaking ball the other way, just over the left field wall. That being his 14th home run.
See, Hosmer's left foot ended up behind home plate on his follow through. Here is Giavotella. Toward the hole. Florimon gets in front of it. Out there. That's all they'll get. Again, we saw that play last night where Florimon goes to the hole, but because of his quickness, he's able to get both hands engaged in the play and can get rid of it quickly to second base.
Well, all you're thinking about as a shortstop right here is get the out at second, because the ball not hit hard enough, but you can see the hands right there, so he can get that ball out quickly, then feed it over to second base, and KCA was there for the force out.
One down. Here's Lowe, punched a single to left on an 0-2 pitch to start the ball game. Ball one.
Lowe in his 6th season of professional baseball, signed by the Royals in 2007. In a September call-up, he had a very good year down in Omaha. Hit 275, 10 home runs, drove in 69 runs.
Outside, and it's 2-0. "29 pitches, 20 strikes." But Walters throwing more balls in this inning than he did in the first 2 innings combined. There's one down the middle. The pregame show, I mentioned that when the Twins were desperate for decent, much less quality starts, decent starts, Walters from the right side and Diamond from the left side stepped up and gave them those starts in May and into June.
Well, Walters a pitcher that basically has paid his dues in the minor leagues. Came up with the Cardinals in 2009, up and down for a couple years with the Blue Jays last year. Made 1 relief appearance. Signed by the Cardinals back in 2006. He's had over 120 minor league starts.
Popped up, Florimon behind Carroll. Makes the catch out, number 2. Escobar due up next. Subscribe to MLB.tv today at a reduced price. See the remaining Twins out-of-market games live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit twinsbaseball.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere, home territory, blackout restrictions apply.
Right there, very good pitch right there to Lowe. Took something off. Lowe a little out front, created that pop-up in the infield.
Here's Escobar, who struck out on 3 pitches in the first inning. Backs up his breaking ball, 76 miles per hour.
You see, that's a big sweeper right there. Getting strike 1. 9 of 11 batters so far. Get ahead in the count. Exactly what pitching coach Rick Anderson said his goal was coming into the ball game or any ball game. Get strike 1, then we make the adjustment from there.
First 10 pitches he threw tonight were all strikes. 1-1. Escobar hit by a pitch. And Escobar will go to first, and that will send Giavotella to second.
Yeah, Escobar with that pad right there. They're trying to go inside. Watch Butera where he sets up, and the fastball ran in on Escobar, and actually hitting the elbow area and the pad.
So with the tying run in scoring position, now Gordon will hit. He hit a fly ball to Span in the first inning. Former Twin Rusty Kuntz has taken over at first base as coach for the Royals. The Royals made a coaching change about a month ago. Doug Sisson was let go midseason.
Eddie Rodriguez, the third base coach for Ned Yost.
Gordon takes strike one. Popped up. Carroll near the railing makes the catch. Gordon retired. Walter strands a couple in the third. Leading 1-0. And the White Sox are playing their series with Detroit without Adam Dunn. Suffering a re-injury of the oblique. Detroit winning the ball game last night. Now Max Scherzer starting for the Tigers tonight, then Justin Verlander. So Tigers, if they're going to make a move, they need to at least win one of the next two games.
That was a big win for them last night over the White Sox.
Here's Span, started the game for the Twins with a triple to right center and scored on a Willingham single. 1-1. Span would like to finish this season with a .300 batting average, and it's certainly well within the realm of possibility he'll do that. Fouled back. Span hit .311 in 2009. Dropped back to .264 in 2010. Hit .264 again last year with not many at bats.
Yeah, last year played in only 70 ball games. Of course, had the concussion that set him back.
1-2 to center and down for a hit. So Span jumps back into the lineup with 2 line drive hits.
Well, one thing we have seen Bernard Span and Ben Revere do a good job of, let that ball get deep into the strike zone. Watch at the last second. Span jumping all over it. Ball right there, pretty much down the middle of the plate. And Span lining it in the center.
So now Revere, who had a ground ball to Moustakas his first time up. We saw last night how Salvador Perez can effectively take you out of your running game. Twins were behind in the ball game, and he threw out 2 runners. So Span, who's been reluctant to steal over the last year or so anyway, probably is not going to go here, I'm guessing, which doesn't mean the Twins might not put the hit and run on.
Yeah, 14 stolen bases for Denard Span in 20 attempts. And Hochevar has that high leg kick. 14 stolen bases against him this year in 28 starts coming in. Throw over, Span hitting back.
One strike to Revere. Popped up to left. And Gordon hardly has to move. One away. And that'll bring up Willingham. Willingham fell behind Hochevar, worked the count full, and ended up driving in Span with a single to left.
Yeah, Willingham hitting a home run against Hochevar back on June 30th here, and when Hochevar lost to Cole DeVries 5-1. Hochevar gave up 3 home runs in that ball game.
Time call. Speaking of Cole DeVries, he's going to have an MRI done tomorrow. He still is feeling some pain in the rib cage area. You may remember in his last start he caught a line drive with his ribs, and it still hurts him when he coughs, sneezes. He told me the other day even sleeping, rolling over was very painful for him. And Perez has 4 pickoffs from behind the plate. Here's what happened the other day in an otherwise good day for Cole DeVries.
Yeah, line drive right off the bat of Cabrera, right back at him. And it's an out. It's actually the final out of the 3rd inning. DeVries ended up pitching 3 more very good innings.
Check swing, and it's 2-0. I don't know if that was that cutter. Looked like it had some sideways movement at 88 miles per hour.
He throws a slider along with the curveball. I would think the cutter you'd want to throw it more in on lefties than right-handers, and more the slider. And really not that big a difference between what they call today a cutter and a slider. There's a fastball missing down and away.
I remember years ago, both with LaTroy Hawkins when he was a starter, and before him, Pat Mahomes, when they were trying to figure out what to do with him. In each of those pitchers' cases, they had a curve and a slider. And I think came to the conclusion that at least Dave Island's come up with. Look, throw one or the other, pick one, and concentrate on that.
Well, the curveball is a little bit harder to control and throw over consistently. And there's a walk to Willingham that puts runners at first and second, 1 out. First walk of the ball game for Hochevar. A slider is nothing more than a fastball that will move maybe 6 to 8 inches if you're facing a right-handed hitter away to a right-hander into a left-hander. A curveball, you have to be able to visualize a curveball breaking at, say, a hitter's shoulder and then hopefully dropping down by the ankle area.
Boy, you did have a good curveball. Here's Morneau with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, slider is more fastball, cutter, just throw it off, and a curveball is more a bigger drop is how I learned the curveball, a drop from 12 to 6.
Well, then that begs a question. Did you ever try to throw a slider?
As I got older, because my velocity was not as when I was younger, I threw a little cutter or slider in on lefties. That's the only time I ever threw a slider to get that ball in on, say, a Justin Morneau. That would open up the outer half of the plate.
Breaking ball over for a strike, 1-1. Morneau went down swinging in the first inning, chased some high fastballs.
And only because, too, my fastball inside had a tendency to come back over the plate. Lack of arm strength, I guess.
foul back. Now, how many of those, what percentage of those do you think were caught by a catcher, and how many were caught by a fan?
Which one's the one that came back over the plate?
Over the middle of the plate.
I'd give it the fans more than the catcher. That's why I came up with a cutter.
1-2 to Morneau. Twins trying to tack on to their 1-0 lead here in the third.
It's really a good pitch to left-handers because a lot of times they'll be out a little out front and all they can do is hook and foul.
Morneau taps a breaking pitch behind Jerry White.
See, Hochevar to me doesn't have that 12-6 curveball. He has more of a, I don't know, I guess a 2-8 type breaking ball. It kind of breaks that way. This is a kind of a sweeping breaking ball. See how it kind of doesn't have that bite. I thought that Will Smith had a good bite on his curveball last night. That's why he, I think, helped him pitch 7 shutout innings against the Twins.
Around the plate, 2-2.
Tried to backdoor that breaking ball. See, this is where, as a pitcher, you have to think that two-seam fastball down and away and hopefully get a ground ball. That's how you get ground ball outs. Breaking balls, Justin can get that ball airborne and he can hit a 3-run home run.
Pop foul and out of play.
Remember in his first at bat, he challenged Justin and threw the fastball right by him. That fastball at 94. So Justin remembers that. He's going to try to speed up that barrel of the bat a little bit quicker.
Two and 2 to Morneau. And now 3-2 with Doman on deck.
Now you see the disgust of Hochevar right there. Not happy he went 3-2. But you know what? I mean, you look at the pitch count already for Hochevar. He's throwing a lot of pitches. He's not a guy that can just go out and get an out on 3 or 4 pitches. You'd like for him to do, but he's got that in his mind that he wants to strike out everybody.
60 pitches thrown already for Hochevar, and here's a 3-2 to Morneau. Taken up high, and they're loaded up.
You have to be 99% sure in your mind that you can get that breaking ball over on 3-2. And here comes Dave Eiland. He tried to sneak a breaking ball over on a 3-2 pitch, 1 out. You have to be 99% sure that you can fool him and strike him out right there, and it end up walking him. 2 straight walks.
Well, another bases loaded situation for the Twins against Hochevar in Kansas City a couple weeks ago. Joe Mauer in the 2nd inning emptied the bases with a grand slam. Now it's Doman's turn to try to deliver a big hit. Doman bounced out to Hosmer. He sent a 1-hopper right over the bag. Hosmer gloved it, stepped on the bag to end the inning. Bases full of Twins, already leading 1-0. Breaking ball off the plate, ball 1. Another curve. Inning started with Span drilling a fastball to center for a single.
If you can't get your curveball over, what a hitter sit on. Doman has to be sitting on a fastball. Counts in his favor.
We'll see if Doman gets a fastball here and what he does with it.
And Perez sitting down and away, and that fastball missing.
2-0.
And if I'm Hochevar right here, and it's another fastball, it has to be down and away. Watch Perez. He has to sit down and away again. Not as much, pretty much down the middle of the plate.
3-0 with the bases loaded and Carroll on deck.
As much as you'd like to see Doman swing right here, he almost has to take a pitch.
After a back-to-back walks, I would think so.
Right. Well, he's a hitter that, Guardy will say a lot of times, here's a green light. If you get your pitch, drill it somewhere. But not after, like you mentioned, Dick, 2 straight back-to-back walks.
3-0 to Doman. Wow. A 4-pitch walk with the bases loaded. And Hochevar has exasperated the Kansas City bench mightily here with consecutive walks to Willingham, Morneau, and Doman.
And Island getting on that phone. Of course, when you walk a lot of guys like Hochevar has 3 in a row, your defense is going, come on, get the ball over the plate. We can make some plays behind you.
Give us a chance.
Yep.
Here's Carroll. Good numbers against Hochevar, but Hochevar ate him up, broke his bat, got a ground ball to short in the 2nd inning.
Carroll will probably try to take a pitch here, make him throw a strike. And he does.
And he does. Strike 1. Breaking ball, fouled away, 2 strikes. So in the back of there's Everett Tiford warming him in the back of his mind, probably in the front of his mind. Hochevar's thinking, look, I got to strike this guy out. I got the bases loaded, 1 out.
Well, you'll find out what a strikeout pitch right here is. So you're going to try to blow the fastball by Carroll or try to maybe get him to chase a breaking ball.
Breaking ball, loop to center. Kane with the catch. Willingham is tagging. Here's the throw, cut off by Moustakas, or by Hosmer, I should say. They'll appeal to third base. And the home plate umpire, Dan Bellino, says no, it was a legitimate tag, a sacrifice fly, and a 3-0 ball game.
And for Jamie Carroll, his 36th RBI of the year. That ties a career high in a season for Jamie Carroll. He had 36 RBIs when he was with the Indians in 2008. So Carroll fought off the pitch and drove in a run. And the Twins take a 3-0 lead.
And now KCA, a bouncer to short, his first time up. Nice dig by Perez. Again, Hochevar will turn 29 on Saturday. This is not a recent draft pick that inconsistency can be excused. This is a guy that Royals, frankly, were counting on this year to develop into an ace.
Yeah, 11-game winner last year. They're hoping that, he turned the corner.
KCA swings and misses at the fastball.
KCA has some good numbers against Hochevar coming into this ball game. 0 for 1 so far, but 9 hits and 25 at-bats. So I think KCA's in the ball game because of the good numbers.
Another fastball gets a swing and a foul tip. So Willingham probably kidding Carroll, why couldn't you hit it deeper? A sacrifice fly. I had to run in from third base and get down into a slide to score.
Wait a minute, that was deep for Jamie Carroll.
That might be what he was saying too.
Hochevar already at 71 pitches.
1-2 to KCA. Breaking ball, line to Moustakas to end the inning. Twins get 2 runs on just 1 hit in the 3rd.
Let us know who you think will be the Arby's value player of the game. Text the word value followed by a space in the player's name to short code 234-234. Hey, all due respect to Denard Span, 2 for 2, 40% of the vote. How about some love for P.J. Walters, huh?
So far, so good for P.J. Walters. 3 shutout innings.
Ball 1.
But a nice comeback for Denard Span, just coming off the disabled list. So
now here I'm trying to take the position of a pitcher. I'm trying to boost the pitcher.
Pitchers like offense, Dick. Give me some runs. P.J. Walters, that's okay. He wants the win. How do you do it? By scoring runs, and Span has scored a couple already.
2-0. Last time I support voting for a pitcher.
Good. As long as they get the win, that's the most important thing. And the Twins win. Sometimes, a starter can pitch well, but he doesn't get the win as long as the team wins.
2-0. And a tapper to short. Florimone can wait for the 4th hop. They'll throw Butler out, 1 down. AT&T trivia, and here we are winding down the season. 20 games left, and we've got every trivia question right this year. Who was the only Twin to hit 20 home runs in a season at the Metrodome? Willingham's hit 20 here, so the question is 20 home runs at the Metrodome, not in the season.
Not in a season? You mean in their career? No, in a season.
In one season at the Metrodome, not counting the road home runs.
Right.
Up and in, 1-1. Well, I'm going to go with Kent Herbeck.
I'm going to go with the Rat, Gary Gaetti.
Okay. 2-1. Walters to Perez. That's hit well to left center field. Span's going to run over to the gap, but run out of room. Perez cranks a home run to make it 3-1.
Well, we have seen Perez. This young man is going to be exciting to watch. I mentioned it last night. Perez, just 22 years old, missed the first half due to left knee surgery. But he's making up for lost time, believe me. That is home run number 10 for Perez. And for Walters, that's his 10th home run that he's allowed. Good solid swing by the youngster. Into the bullpen area. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Royals got off to a terrible start, 6-15. Had a 12-game losing streak in the middle of the first month of the year. And one of the main reasons was they missed Perez, handling the pitching staff, delivering some hits in the middle of the lineup.
Yeah, last year he came up, and he hit .331 in 39 ball games, and drove in 21 runs in the 39 games.
Signed him as a 16-year-old out of Venezuela. 1-1 to Moustakas. Hit a fly ball to Span. His first time up, and he takes ball 2. You look at the Royals' monthly record, and boy, the April just sunk them beyond recovery. But a winning May, a winning June, had a bad July, but a very good August, 17-11. They have a chance to finish strongly and have a winning September. That'd be 4 winning months out of 6. 2-2 to Moustakas. Wow. 76 miles per hour. And I believe that one went east by northeast to west by southwest.
Well, watch this big breaking ball right here. Great pitch right there. The lefties like it down there, and they think they can hook it, but underneath the swing. In our Circle Me Bird section, we have Mary Wright tomorrow.
Right.
Hi, Mary. Celebrating her 33rd birthday. You and your friends are here to celebrate tomorrow's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Early. But Mary is from Apple Valley. So welcome up to the booth.
Chopper to third.
Don't
Carroll.
steal anything on the way out.
Nice play by Carroll, fielding the second hop, ending the top of the 4th with the Royals getting 1 on the Perez home run.
GoPro shot of Target Field on a Wednesday night. Homestand started with the Twins kind of having a flat loss against the Indians, but then they took the next 3 wins from Cleveland. Last night, kind of a flat loss for the Twins in the series opener with Kansas City. P.J. Walters and the Twins now having a 3-1 lead, hitting now in the bottom of the 4th. Butera singled off of Hochevar in the 2nd inning, goes after a fastball and misses, strike 1.
Yeah, a lot of pitches for Hochevar. 22 in the 1st, 21 in the 2nd, and 29 in the 3rd inning.
1-1. Breaking ball spins over, 1-2.
You see the 75 pitches, 44 strikes for Hochevar, a couple walks, 3 walks, a couple strikeouts.
Butera strikes out, 1 away.
Making 3 strikeouts now.
And that'll bring up Florimon.
That might have been the slider right there, just a little cutter down and away, and Butera swinging at a pitch out of the strike zone. Hochevar making, like I mentioned before, 125th Major League start. He has only 5 complete games, 2 shutouts. One coming earlier this year in Kansas City against the Tampa Bay Rays.
Ball 1 to Florimon, struck out on a fastball to wrap up the 2nd inning. And now 2-0. Florimon with 80 at bats for the Twins this year. 20 hits, 7 extra base hits, 7 walks, 17 strikeouts. Squaring to bunt and taking ball 3. We haven't seen Florimon bunt much for a base hit. Did drop down to sacrifice bunt. That hits the inside corner, 3-1. Three and 2. Foul. Just find it interesting that although there are some other options, Carroll, KCA among them, Florimon has played every inning of every game except one since his call-up.
It's an audition time for him.
To the left field corner, slicing away from Gordon, but he gets there and runs into the sidewall. Out number 2.
Yeah, nice catch by Alex Gordon right there.
I'll bet you Robbie Ince-Mikowski has found numerous ways to stay warm tonight.
I have, and I am hanging out here under the retired numbers and the heat lamps for the first time as we head toward the fall part of baseball season. The heat lamps are back on at Target Field for the first time. So those of you wondering about going to a game, if it's going to be chilly, do not worry about the heat lamps here all around the concourse on the first level and around the concourse up there on the second deck here at Target Field. Problem here, Dick and Bert, I just don't have any friends to hang out with out here.
You don't have too many friends hanging out anywhere, Robbie.
Span takes down an
Keep wearing that pink shirt, you'll have less.
Span with a triple and a run scored in the 1st, a single and a run scored in the 3rd.
I love giving Robbie a hard time.
Cued off the end of the bat, 1-1. Span, provided he can play out the rest of the season, should finish with well over 500 at bats. He has 442 at bats right now. One and 1. 2-1.
So all the things we said about Justin Morneau coming back from the concussion symptoms, to somewhat of a lesser degree we can say about Denard Span. He's played or will have played a full season, has been productive. 2-2.
I think when we see Denard Span in that leadoff spot and Ben Revere in that number 2 hole, we've seen a lot of exciting Twins score a lot of runs because of these two guys. They're the table setters. They get on. Tonight, a leadoff triple scored in the 3rd inning, a single that led off the inning. He later scored.
2-2 to Span. Pull to the right side. Easy play for Hosmer as he goes to the bag. And Hochevar enjoys his first 1-2-3 inning. /baseball question, but you can still submit them. Jen Franklin from Albert Lee wondering, with all the young talent on the Royals, what do we think is the main thing they are missing in Kansas City?
I think the same thing missing in Kansas City is going to be the same thing missing here, is good quality starting pitching. Both these teams have very good bullpens, but they need starters. There's a lot of clubs looking for starters out there. Cleveland Indians, same thing. But they have some guys that have some established, where the Royals and the Twins, they're still looking for, that number 1 or number 2 ace. You mentioned earlier, they're hoping that Luke Hochevar could be that number 1 ace. But he's had a frustrating year.
I think most Twins fans are assuming that the Twins will be active in the trade market this winter. And you try to find a trade partner where what you might have as a surplus is what somebody else needs. I don't think the Twins consider the Royals a trade partner because, as you said, they both have the same needs. There are no redundancies that one has that the other needs.
Yeah, there are going to be some free agents out there too. So Terry Ryan, I think what Tom Kelly said in the pregame is right. He's going to have his work cut out for him this winter.
The Royals were active in the trade market during the season. They traded Jonathan Sanchez to the Rockies, and they may have found a part of the puzzle for Kansas City next year, Jeremy Guthrie, who's been outstanding for them. The problem is Guthrie is a free agent after this year. He's expressed some interest in returning to Kansas City, but Guthrie might also be someone that the Twins or the Indians or any of these other teams would be interested in. 3-2. And ball 4. Hosmer walks for the second time.
Yeah, second time they tried to get that fastball in on him and missed.
Pitchers duel in Chicago. Max Scherzer against Gavin Floyd.
And Kevin Youkilis breaks the tie with a home run to left. Looks like they got a big crowd in Chicago for Game 3. 1-0 White Sox. And the White Sox know that if they can just split the remaining 2 games, they'll head into the weekend with at least a 2-game lead. Up and in ball 1 over Detroit. White Sox come here after their 4 games at home with Detroit. They're saying now that White Sox are not planning on starting Francisco Liriano in the Twins series, in part because of Liriano's disastrous relief outing last night. Breaking ball misses, and it's 2-0.
And Buter's going to run the ball out to Walters. P.J. Walters. P.J. Philip Dwayne Walters. Signed by the Cardinals. P.J., I'm sure just a nickname, but Philip Dwayne Walters.
PD just doesn't roll off your tongue like P.J.
Right. Signed by the Cardinals in 2006 out of the University of South Alabama.
Signed by the Twins, as so many of them did during the offseason, because from the player's perspective and the agent's perspective, there was opportunity with the Twins. And I suspect there'll be another round of phone calls made to the Twins from other minor league free agents, realizing the Twins are in need of starting pitching. That's how the Twins ended up with Jared Burton, Samuel Deduno.
Yeah, Jeff Gray, who is no longer with the Twins, but he also pitched very well at times for the Twins.
2-1 to Giavotella. Hung a breaking ball, but he got away with it. A foul ball. Still 2-2. Walters has 3 strikeouts.
Giavotella, 25 years old, signed by the Royals in 2008. Came up a little bit last year with them.
Pulled foul. 62nd pitch of the night for Walters. Indians continue their free fall. They're behind Texas already, 5-1. Up the middle and through for a base hit. So Walters reached down for it. It skipped back past him and on into center field, and the 8 and 9 hitters are both aboard with nobody out.
Yeah, we've seen the sweeping breaking ball. Another one right here, right through the legs of Walters into center field. 3rd hit for the Royals.
Becoming Wild Chapter 2 brings fans closer to the Minnesota Wild roster than ever before. Tomorrow at 6, don't miss episode 2 as the show gets up close and personal with one of the best 2-way players on the Wild roster, Kyle Brodziak. Watch Becoming Wild Chapter 2 tomorrow at 6, only on Fox Sports North. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Back to the top of the order, David Lowe at the plate. Up and away, ball 1. Lowe with a single in the 1st and a pop up to short.
All right, need a double play ball right here. Going to have to be a quick one. Lowe pretty quick down that out of that batter's box.
Into right field, a base hit. Hosmer will be held at 3rd, and they're loaded up with nobody out.
Well, David Lowe picking up his 2nd hit of the ball game. And Walters, who are doing a good job of keeping the ball down, leaving some pitches up. That leadoff walk, and then the base hit, and that fastball left up.
And Rick Anderson will come to the mound. Escobar will be the batter. Walters struck him out in the first, hit him with a fastball in the third.
When you're in this situation, you're looking for damage control. I always thought, you know what, that runner at third's going to score. If I could maybe get a sacrifice fly out of Escobar, you know, leave that runner at second, and then maybe get an out somehow, and then I can work out of this inning with only giving up one run.
Here's Escobar. Middle infielders will play back. Corner infielders will play short. It's hit to Carroll or Morneau. The play likely will be at home. Floats off the outside corner, ball one.
They tried to change up, and Escobar laid off of it.
And that's hit over KCA's head. Hosmer will score. Giavatello will hold up. And they're loaded again with one run in and still nobody out.
Yeah, fastball that Escobar just fought off and hit it over KCA's head. He picks up an RBI, his 48th of the year, and it's a 3-2 ball game. See some pitches starting to get up in the zone a little bit. Escobar didn't hit it, you know, all that well, but enough to hit it into short right field. So Hosmer scoring.
Tying run at third, still nobody out. Gordon's hit a fly ball to center and fouled out to Carroll to end a threat in the third inning. Splintered bat, and that's going to land for a hit. And the bases are loaded once again. Most of the bat ended up at the feet of Rusty Kuntz. And the game is tied.
Well, you can throw good pitches, and hitters are going to maybe get a good hit. And this is a pretty good pitch right here. Breaking ball. The bat shattering in the hands of Gordon. But the ball hits into short left field, and he picks up an RBI, his 64th of the year. The Royals playing a little merry-go-round right now.
Back-to-back pitches. Walters may have busted a couple of Kansas City bats. Anthony Swarzak warming up. But a tough spot now. The game's tied, loaded up, nobody out. First 5 batters have reached a walk and 4 straight singles. Butler takes high and tight.
Again, this is a very good Royals hitting ball club. Hitting .269 coming into this game. It picked up 16 hits in last night's ball game, 8 of them extra base hits.
And now 2-0. Butler with 2 ground balls, 1 to Carroll, 1 to Florimon.
First 4 innings so well. I mean, 16 pitches are most he needed up until this inning. That leadoff walk. And now 4 straight singles.
Foul back, 2-1. How about a one-hopper to Carroll right near the bag?
How about a one-hopper right back to the pitcher?
See, your way gets 2 outs. My way might get 3. That's deep to left. Domit going back. Plays the carom. 2 runs are going to score on a single off the wall by Butler. The first 6 batters have reached, and the Royals lead by a pair.
Yeah, I think what we've seen is Walters really up this inning. The leadoff walk and then some pitches left up, even though a couple of them weren't bad, but the Royals just fought it off. And Gardy wanting to make sure, I think we see if Swarzak's ready. The high fastball. Butler 99 career home runs. Probably thought that might have been 100, but instead it stays in the ballpark. And Walters coming out of the ball game.
Twins getting 4 good innings from Walters, but the 5th has been nothing but trouble. And Swarzak will come in. Tiring and leaving some pitches up. Royals made him pay the price in the 5th. He comes out, still nobody out. Anthony Swarzak will pitch next for the Twins.
Yeah, he's still responsible for the couple of runners on for Swarzak. He's making his 39th relief appearance. 4 of those outing starts, and they came earlier this year. So Swarzak hopefully can keep the damage to a minimum here in the top of the 5th inning.
Perez started the Royals comeback in the 4th with our Coors Light Cold Hard Blast.
Yeah, Perez, who got 2 hits in last night's ball game, caught up to a fastball from Walters and hit his 10th home run. That was the first run in the 4th inning, but the Royals so far here in the 5th put up a big trick at number 4 so far.
Well, Perez will stand in. Twins will play back for a double play grounder, just hoping to get some outs here in this at bat. Gordon at 3rd, Butler at 1st. Pop up. And Perez on 1 pitch is retired for the 1st out.
You got to love that right there. Swarzak started him off with a curveball a little bit up, and Perez went out of the strike zone and got the pop up. So a big 1st out. Let's see if we get a double play right here.
Moustakas with a fly to center and a strikeout. Inside, ball 1.
And Moustakas a tough guy to double up. Over 500 at bats. He's hit it in only 4 double plays.
Popped up left side. Carroll, infield fly rule should be called here. It never was. Third base umpire Jerry Lane apparently didn't think that Carroll had established position under the ball. Ball's caught. It's a moot point.
I don't know if it is an infield fly rule on 1st and 3rd rather than 1st.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second.
I'm sorry. I thought the bases were loaded. I'm sorry. So used to the bases being loaded this inning. So 2 outs. Number 9 batter this inning is Lorenzo Cain. They're just runners at 1st and 3rd.
So far, so good for Swarzak. A couple pop-ups on 3 pitches.
Down low, ball 1. Yeah, if Swarzak can get out of this with the Twins just down a couple of runs, that'd be an awfully good relief job. but there's a base hit to right. Gordon will come in and score, and it's a 5-run inning. Kane with his first hit.
Yeah, looked like a breaking ball, just left up a little bit, and Kane just hit it the other way. Picks up an RBI single as Gordon scores the 5th run of the inning. And a run charge to P.J. Walters. So the 10th man to bat here in the 5th inning. Eric Hosmer started this inning off with a walk.
Started the 3rd inning off with a walk. So walked him twice, or Walters did. Fastball up and in, ball 1. And that covers the inside corner. Hosmer walk was retired on a fielder's choice in the 3rd, and he started this inning with a walk. The Royals followed that with 5 consecutive singles. Again over the inside corner. Again, the Twins completely changing their pitching pattern to Hosmer from last night.
That's where Walters was trying to get him out. All the 2 at bats, he ended up walking him.
Go away, and Hosmer flares it foul.
Yeah, Butera actually started away, then he went back inside it, but that ball left out over the plate, and Hosmer fouled it off. See if he can get that breaking ball down and in. Maybe he'll swing through it. That's where Butera wants it. Get it down. Fastball down.
2-2. And a call, 3rd strike. They came inside, barely got the corner, but still with 10 men batting, 5 score.
Bert, check this out. This is Melba, and she's from Osage, Iowa, 89 years old, and her first trip here to Target Field in Melba. I have $100 in my hand of Minnesota State Lottery scratch-off tickets, and they're for you. How are you enjoying your first trip to Target Field?
This is fantastic. I'm very impressed.
You're very impressed. Now, the story, Bert, as it goes, she's been to Met Stadium, been to the Metrodome, but your kid, for his 10th, 11th, and 12th birthdays, wanted to go to Twins games. Is that right? And you did it every year?
We did for the first 3 years that the Twins were in Minneapolis, right.
Okay, well, welcome to Target Field, and have a great night, okay?
I'm having a great time.
All right.
This makes it even better.
Yeah, but Bert circled you?
Oh, I hope so.
Yes,
I watch him every night.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Happy birthday, young lady.
Off the glove of the pitcher, Giavatella fields it and gets rid of it quickly to Hosmer, and Revere retired, one away.
Yeah, Hochshaver slowed that down a little bit, and Giavatella, we've made a couple good plays last night. He makes a nice one there.
A lot of great Twins fans from northern Iowa in and around Osage, Iowa. Our AT&T trivia question, I think the answer is Ken Herbeck. The only Twin to hit 20 at the Dome, and it was in the 1987 season.
Nice going, Rex. Good year to do that. Because I wasn't pitching to him. That's the only reason Herbie retired, is because I retired. He used to own me.
One strike to Willingham. Twins would love to answer with a run here. 6 in a row set down by Hochshaver. Willingham swings and misses, 0-2. We saw Willingham in left field last night, back in the DH spot today. Pounded foul, wide of third. Willingham singled in a run in the first, walked and scored in the third.
Yeah, Hochshaver now 93 pitches, set 57 strikes. Settling down a little bit after that rough third inning.
Half swing, but he went. Willingham gone. Out number 2.
And Hochshaver picking up his 4th strikeout.
Time for the CenturyLink high-speed pitch. I'll bet you Hochshaver's got Walters beat by about 3 miles per hour.
By actually 5. Hochshaver with 95, Walters at 90.
2 down. That'll bring up Morneau. In the third inning, the Royals activated the bullpen because Hochshaver walked 3 straight batters, Willingham, Morneau, and Doman. The second Twins run scored on a bases-loaded walk. Third run scored on a sacrifice fly. Outside, 2-0.
And since that bases-loaded walk is retired 7 straight.
Royals, after the 2-0 pitch, now have shifted the infield, swinging Escobar over to the right side. 3-0. Doman on deck. My goodness. Now, I know Morneau's a dangerous hitter and you want to keep the ball away from him, but he's pitching with a 3-run lead. He's just issued a 2-out walk.
Well, he was trying to hit that corner away. He just missed all 4 times.
In conjunction with the retirement of Tom Kelly's number 10, the Twins are selling a complete set of bobbleheads featuring every manager in Twins history. All 12 full-time managers, and the only place to get this limited edition set of bobbleheads is at twinsbaseball.com right now. Limited number still available for $210. Proceeds benefiting the Twins Community Fund. For more information, visit twinsbaseball.com. Doman, a bouncer to first and the bases loaded walk to drive in his 67th run in the third inning. On the outside corner, 0-2.
Yeah, good frame right there by Perez. Kind of held it for a second. Couple straight breaking balls. 2 straight breaking balls to Doman. Third time this season Hochevar has walked 4 in a ball game.
100 pitches on the day for Hochevar. And pitch number 101 is inside, 1-2. It past Moustakas down the line. Nice play by Moustakas, flipping it to Gordon to keep Morneau from scoring. Domit just rolls it past Moustakas, who was shifted up the middle.
Yeah, it looked like we seen Domit do this earlier, you know, with that big shift, kind of a excuse me type swing. Watch this swing right here, a breaking ball. Just kind of jabbed at it right here, and the ball ends up right down that third baseline. Moustakas has to go chase it as Gordon is chasing after it, and a little flip to Gordon.
Swing kind of looked like a tennis player on the backhand, yeah. Just kind of
15 low.
Right. Well, here's Carroll. He's got a chance to get the Twins within 1 here if he can deliver a hit to the outfield, perhaps. With a sacrifice fly his last time up. Breaking ball hits the corner. One strike to Carroll. Pickup by Perez. We might have seen another runner score on a wild pitch. We've already seen that a couple of times.
Yeah, 3 times already between Cleveland and last night's wild pitch. Tim Collins, one of the 2 lefties out in that bullpen, starting to loosen up. Most pitches Hochevar's thrown in a ball game, 115. That was earlier this year against the Yankees in New York.
And now 2-1. Score 5 times in the top half of this inning, trying to answer now in the bottom of the 5th. Three and 1. KCA on deck. Of course, this whole threat started when Hochevar could not throw a strike to Morneau. Walked him on 4 pitches with 2 gone in the inning.
Yeah, David Lowe out in right field, really guarding that line. Right center gap.
Up the middle.
Right.
Base hit. Morneau scores. Here comes Domit. And Carroll is driven in 3 tonight. And it's a 1-run ball game.
I mentioned in his last at bat, the sacrifice fly is tying a career high 36 RBIs in a season. Now it's 38. Fastball that came right back into the swing of Carroll, right back up the middle. That's a 6-5 game.
It's Dave Island coming to the mound. And I'm sure this has just been an exasperating 5th inning for the Royals field staff. Hochevar locked down, in control of things. 7 batters in a row retired. He could not or did not throw a strike to Morneau. Walked him on 4 pitches. Domit with his quirky double Carroll with a 2-run single, and just like that, the Twins have 5 runs on the board.
Well, you have to go 5 innings as a starter to qualify for a win, so Ned Yost is going to give him that opportunity here.
Career high in runs batted in at the age of 38. Strike 1. KCA, a bouncer to short and a liner to Moustakas. Strike on the outside corner, 0-2. Two strikes for the Twins' second baseman. Toward the hole, but cut off by Moustakas. Over to Hosmer in the inning end. With a walk and a pair of hits and a couple of runs. It's a 1-run lead for Kansas City.
.30 p.m. for Game 3 in the series. It's going to be mainly clear and also cool at Target Field. The first pitch 65 degrees, and we can expect some winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour.
57 degrees right now. Mostly cloudy. Turned into a pleasant evening here after some much needed rain hit the Twin Cities area. I would imagine the 2 runs that Hochevar gave up probably more distressing to Ned Yost than the 5 runs P.J. Walters gave up to the Twins. 2 outs, bases empty, a 3-run lead, and Hochevar couldn't finish the Twins off in the 5th.
Well, he walked Morneau, and that kind of set the stage. Your team just puts 5 runs on the board on top of the 5th inning. You get the quick 2 outs, and then you walk the batter, and then Domit's, kind of a check swing double, and then Jamie Carroll's big 2-run single. But a lot of pitches thrown by Hochevar, 110, so he's looking for the old 5 and fly, and hopefully his bullpen can hold that 6-5 lead.
1-1 to Johnny Giavotella. Another one over the mound. This one fielded by KCA. Morneau with a stretch. Both with his legs and his left arm. One away.
Yeah, nice all-around play. KCA coming in with his speed. Makes a nice play. The throw a little high, but Justin able to reach up at that 6'5" frame and keep his foot on the bag.
So one down in the 6th, and here's David Lowe. Popped up down the left field line. Dome it under it. And 2 quick outs here in the 6th. The 2 down, and that'll bring up Escobar.
And what Holshaver was unsuccessful in doing, put a couple runs on the board. Swarzak wants to get these guys back in as quick as possible. So he did a pretty good job coming in with, a couple runners on last inning and only giving up the 1 base hit.
Inside ball 1. On the outside corner, 1-1. Chopper to short, Florimo with a rocket for an arm, and he throws out the Kansas City shortstop. And Swarzak has a 1-2-3-6. Coors Light 6th inning and the Coors Light freeze can.
Well, the first four innings been very well for P.J. Walters. He's hitting his spots. Good strikeout right there. He picked up 3 strikeouts in the first 4 innings, and then he left some pitches up in that 5th inning. The Royals were able to get 5 straight hits off of him, but just ran out of gas a little bit.
Frostbrew Coors Light freeze can. Wins down a run. Holshaver completed 5. Is out of the ball game now, and Tim Collins will pitch.
A hard-throwing left-hander, 5-2 out of that bullpen, 3.18 ERA, making his 66th relief appearance. Only 49 hits allowed in 65 innings. Royals bullpen very, very good. Some great arms out there. They come in a combined 3.02 ERA. That's 3rd best in the American League as far as bullpen ERA.
Drew Butera, Pedro Florimon, and Denard Span will face Collins.
The 2 clubs ahead as far as bullpen ERA, Oakland A's and the Tampa Bay Rays.
Curveball. Missing badly. Ball 1. Another disappointing outing for Holshaver. 5 earned runs over 5 innings. We'll see what the Twins can get done against Collins in the bullpen. 2-0.
Collins can be a little wild at times. 30 walks in 65 innings. 7 intentional walks, but he has 89 strikeouts.
Butera swings and misses on the 2-0 pitch. Butera with a single to right in the second, went down swinging in the fourth. Fouled back.
Collins, 23 years old, came over from the Toronto Blue Jay organization in July of 2010. In his second season with the Royals, 5'7", about 170 pounds. Excuse me, 171 pounds.
Now the per diem, over the course of the year. 2-2. Breaking ball missing, and it's a full count. And he missed, and he walks the light hitting Butera to start the sixth. Florimone will hit next. On Friday, the Twins will be home against the White Sox, and the Twins will help you get ready for the upcoming fall and winter weather. The first 10,000 fans at the game will get the Twins bomber hat like that one, presented by Pepsi. And to order your tickets for Friday's game or any other game left on the schedule, call 800-33-TWINS or visit twinsbaseball.com.
Yeah, I got to get me some of those. I'm going to wear it on the winter caravan. Those would be great for the caravan.
Florimone squares and drops down a nice bunt. Collins looks at second, throws to first, and Florimone lays down his second successful sacrifice bunt on the season.
Yeah, you asked a bunt right there. Good job by Florimone, just laying the ball down, and he only played to first base.
Yesterday in the pregame show, and again, it's nice to have Tom Kelly part of the pregame show. Tom mentioned in September, you look for things like that. A player able to get a bunt down. He's a number 9 hitter for a reason, and Florimone can contribute to the tying run here if Span or Revere deliver a single.
That's what Gardy's hoping. Advance the runner into scoring position. Butera now at second with 1 out.
Span with 2 hits already and 2 runs scored. Taking his swings against the left-hander. Ball 1. It might be a coincidence, but let me ask you. Collins has been around now for a couple of years. I've never heard you mention him getting to the balance point and using that downward plane. Is it because he's just 5'7"?
No, he does a good job of that. I mean, it doesn't matter how tall you are. He does a good job at getting over the rubber. He's one that really turns over that pitching rubber, high leg kick, and create that downward plane, even at 5'7". He's got a very good curveball.
Just threw that, 94 miles per hour.
Yep.
With the smallest frame. I think the smallest frame I've ever seen pitch in a big league game. I can't think of anybody smaller than 5'7".
Well, watch him push off that rubber. Right there. Just that extra little push. A lot of, you get that on leg strength.
1 and 2. That might have been his changeup. Got the inside corner. One and 2 to Span. Span takes a fastball and lines it foul down the left field line.
Kansas City, I know when I faced them a lot when I was younger, they had Marty Patton, that was maybe about 5'8", 5'9". Jeff Montgomery wasn't, I think, more than 5'9", 5'10". Tim Collins has said that he's been short his whole life. He said even in kindergarten they made fun of him. I didn't care. And now he's at the major league level.
Oh, he locks up Span with a breaking ball. 2 down.
I mentioned he has a very good curve ball. Got ahead with the fastball, foul. Span fouled a couple off. And then saw Span react right there, and he knew it. So his 90th strikeout in 66 innings pitched.
Now Revere 0 for 3 in the ball game. Revere 3 for 6 in his matchups against Collins. Perez again. He blocked that one with his left shoulder.
They're at second, the tying run. See if Revere can pick him up.
3 singles and a walk in 7 plate appearances against Collins. Revere at 5'9". He's got Collins by a couple inches. And Revere takes a seat. 2-0.
Fastball up and in, and Revere getting out of the way. Very good numbers against lefties for Ben Revere.
Two 2-0 to Ben Revere. And a strike. Leadoff walk. Florimon sacrificed Butera to second, where he awaits what he hopes will be a Ben Revere single. Fouled away, 2-2.
Yeah, with a runner at second like Butera, he really has to turn around and see where the outfielders are playing, because they're playing pretty shallow right here for Ben Revere. Of course, not a lot of power.
Gordon's got a really good arm in left field.
One thing Steve Little also is looking at, the third base coach.
Frank Coeur is not in right field. David Lowe is out there tonight instead of the strong arm Frank Coeur. 2-2 to Revere. Breaking ball popped up short center, and Escobar retreats to end the inning. A scoreless sixth for Tim Collins, and the Royals hold on to that one-run lead. In a one-run ball game.
Yeah, Twins took a 1-0 lead in the first inning. Josh Willingham driving in his 103rd run. Twins added a couple more, but Perez, Salvador Perez, a solo home run in the 4th. And then P.J. Walters ran into trouble in the 5th inning. 5 straight hits off of him. Royals were able to put 5 on the board, but the Twins came fighting back. Jamie Carroll, a big 2-run single. That in the bottom of the 5th inning. 6-5, Royals lead.
Starting the 7th inning, it'll be Alex Gordon. He got one of those singles when the Royals scored 5 times in the 5th inning. Gordon, Butler, and Perez. And a fastball over the inside corner.
Swarzak relieved Walters in the 5th inning with nobody out and a couple runners on. He's given up only 1 hit.
Change up high, 1-1. Last couple of times it seems like Swarzak has pitched well right away and then run into trouble about the 3rd inning of relief. So we'll see if he can overcome that here in the 7th. 2-1. 3-1 with Butler on deck.
You know, Swarzak started the season in the rotation and put down out into the bullpen, but you know, guys like Swarzak, they have been used a lot. Ryan Dunston starting to loosen up.
Fastball, swing and a miss, filling the count.
Because of the starters for the Twins almost all season long not going deep into the ball games, it's Swarzak that's had to pitch 3-4 innings at a time.
Span with the catch, 1 away. And that'll bring up Butler. You referenced Butler's struggles to hit the ball out of the ballpark. Last night was the 23rd game in a row where he has failed to hit career home run number 100. He is stuck on 99 like Harmon Killebrew was stuck on 499. When it happens, he'll be the 12th Royal to have homered 100 times in a Kansas City uniform.
I think this guy's going to hit a lot of home runs in a Kansas City uniform.
As young as he is, he can imagine him at some point with 499 home runs. There's a drive to right and a base hit.
You know, the thing about Butler, the 25 home runs this year, that's a career high. I mean, he's such a good hitter. Came in, you know, a 299 career hitter. Just uses the whole field. This
MLB on Fox season, Fox Sports is proud to support Boys and Girls Club of America, a place where youth can reach their full potential as productive, caring, responsible citizens. Learn more, visit greatfutures.org/Fox Sports. Here's Perez, and there is ball 1. And Butera comes to the mound. Again, this is the time of the game when Swarzak has seemed to have struggled in his 3rd inning of work.
Just trying to overthrow that fastball right there. You know what? You look at Salvador Perez. I haven't really, I mean, I'll watch being a former pitcher. I watch you. How do you get this guy out? He has very good plate coverage. I know the Twins are trying to bust him hard inside now, but we've seen him on balls almost a foot off the plate that he'll hit hard somewhere.
Right. We saw that in Kansas City.
Right.
Cracked his bat. And Rodriguez has the baseball.
And what you see right there, even though he wants to swing the bat. I mean, even on that pitch right there, that ball was up and in where the 2 previous pitches were, and he wants to swing the bat.
So many players out of Venezuela wearing the number 13 in honor of Davy Concepcion, shortstop.
big fly ball to left. And Doman trots in. Out number 2.
All 4 pitches middle in, and Perez kind of got tied up a little bit right there and hit that fly ball to Doman.
And now with the left-handed hitting Moustakas due up, Gardenhire's going to make a change, and very good outing for Anthony Swarzak.
Very good. Let's take a look at that pitch right there. It's a 2-1 fastball that Perez got the barrel of the bat out quickly, but popped it straight up.
So Swarzak does a very fine job. With 2 gone in the 7th, he'll give way to Dunsing.
Is next up for the Vikings on Sunday. Read what the Colts quarterback had to say today, plus rest of Brian Hall's Vikings coverage from Winter Park on FoxSportsNorth.com.
Well, Brian Dunsing comes out of the pen. He'll try to get the final out for the Twins in the top of the 7th inning against Mike Moustakas.
Brian Dunsing making his 3rd relief appearance since taken out of that starting rotation. He appeared a couple times in that Cleveland series. Total of 2 1/3 innings. Only allowed 1 hit. No runs.
Runner at first, 2 down. Moustakas is 0 for 3. He's hit the ball in the air twice and struck out.
I think we talked a little bit the other day about Brian Dunsing, about what his role will be. He's been kind of a swing man in and out of the rotation. At times, I thought he did a great job as a starter, but he also has very good numbers as a reliever.
One and 0 from a fan's perspective. If Dunsing starts the year next year as a relief pitcher, that might be the best scenario. That means by one means or another, the Twins have filled out the rotation with people they feel are either more experienced, better qualified than Brian. And if Diamond, DeDuno, maybe a free agent, a trade acquisition here or there, if they all can fill the rotation and allow Dunsing to stay in the bullpen, that I think would be a very good sign. Inside, and it's 2-1.
Well, you look at the numbers of Brian Dunsing. He's making his 97th career relief appearance. He's 5-5, very good 3.13 earned run average. In 61 career starts, 23 wins, 24 losses, an ERA of about 4.5.
Oh, foul! Watch out.
And in today's game, a 4.5 ERA in 61 starts isn't that bad.
Did you ever think you'd hear yourself say that?
No, but well, look at what a quality start is.
Yeah.
Quality start is 6 innings, 3 earned runs or less, and what is that? That's a 4.5 earned run average.
2-2 to Moustakas. And a base hit to left. So Moustakas gets his first hit against Dunson, and that'll bring up Lorenzo Cain.
Yeah, good hitting right there by Moustakas, not trying to pull that ball. It was a fastball away and just went with it. Take a look at the pitch. Butera wanting it away, just up in the strike zone. Moustakas, good level, hard swing. Gets his first hit. And for the Royals, their 10th.
Now a big out here. Lorenzo Cain drove in a run with a single, pushing a ball to right field for the 6th Kansas City run. Ground ball to Florimone. He'll flip to KCA. That takes care of that. Dunson does his job. Remains a 1-run ball game. By McDonald's. Right now, you can get 20 crispy chicken McNuggets for just $4.99 at McDonald's. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T. Rethink possible. 6-5 Royals in front as the Twins hope to even the series at a game apiece. Trying to come back against Tim Collins. Josh Willingham stands in, and he takes outside ball 1.
Yeah, Collins starting his second inning of relief. 17 pitches last inning, 10 for strikes.
Willingham drove in a run with a single, walked and scored in the 3rd, then struck out 2-0. You look at Collins' numbers, and again this year he's been tougher on right-handers than left-handers for some reason.
He has that fastball that'll run away, and then the big curveball. He had 90 strikeouts for Collins in 66 innings pitched.
2-0 to Willingham. Looking for his first home run of the month of September. That's deep to center. Cain going back with room to make the catch. Maybe on a warmer night, a muggier night, Willingham gave it a ride to center for the first out of the 7th.
Boy, he really did. Good solid swing right here by Josh Willingham, catching up to that fastball and taking Cain all the way to the warning track, straightaway center, some 400 feet away.
So now Morneau will hit. Morneau with a strikeout, 2 walks. Breaking ball, left up and in, ball 1. Morneau with a 2-home run game here against the Indians a few days ago, including a walk-off game winner. On the outside corner, 1-1.
2-1. Willingham looking for his first home run in September. Morneau's next home run would be his 20th of the year. Kelvin Herrera warming up. And a fastball on the outside corner. Morneau turns away in disbelief.
Boy, shaving the outer half of that plate with that fastball, Tim Collins. Perez sitting outside.
Yeah. 2-2. And now 3-2 with Doman on deck.
Good take right there by Justin, and hard curveball. Collins has given up 7 home runs.
Off the end of the bat, a one-hopper to Giavotella. And out number 2. That'll bring up Doman. Doman with a bouncer to first, a walk driving in a run in the third. And he just kind of pushed a double down the left field line as a left-handed batter.
Yeah, one of the prettiest swings you'll ever see. And he will take it. It was his 30th double of the year. Only Span has more doubles for the Twins.
Inside, ball 1. To right center, chased by Kane, and he makes another warning track catch. A couple of well hit balls in the 7th, but a 1-2-3 inning for Tim Collins.
Right, a telecast presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC. She's jiving right there.
She knows the lyrics. Well, Eric Hosmer will lead off the 8th inning against Brian Dunsing with the Royals up a run. And Hosmer again driving the ball hard to left field.
Yeah, Butera sitting inside and the ball left out over the plate, and Hosmer jumping on that first pitch. It's his first hit. And with that base hit right there, every Royal has at least one hit in that lineup. So Butera wanting it inside, the ball left over the plate. He lines it in the left.
Leadoff man is on. Here's Giavatello. We'll see if he's asked to bunt here. Carroll in on the grass at third. Down low, ball one.
Did not show bunt there.
Giavatello, after a Hosmer walk in the 5th inning, singled. And the next 4 batters singled. The Royals took the lead. At the time, 6-3. Now it's 6-5. That misses the inside corner. 2-0.
Giavatello spent most of the season down in Omaha. He ended up hitting .323 in 89 ball games. Some pop, 10 home runs, drove in 71 runs. Young man, just 25 years old, signed by the Royals in 2008.
High fly, left center field. Doman retreating. Drops the ball on a warning track. Hosmer will go to second, and he'll hold up there. So Doman got there, and on the warning track had the ball bounce out of his glove.
You know, Ryan Doman, I believe this is his 16th start out in left field, something that's new to him in left field. A lot of times, you know, in Pittsburgh he played some right field. And he got back there. You see him hustling, picking up the ball. And then here comes that warning track. He reaches out, in and out of the glove. And they'll give Ryan Doman an error. She hit on top of the glove.
Yeah, never got in there. So now David Lowe will come up, and we'll see if he is asked to bunt. Carroll and Morneau are pinching the corners already.
Yeah, you have to look for the bunt right here.
Foul ball, and Butera was ready to gun the ball to Carroll at third base.
A lot of different plays are put on right here. You know, Brian Dunsing, a left-handed pitcher, his responsibility will be covered that third baseline. Maybe Jamie Carroll, as he's going through the signs right now, letting everybody know what's on. Carroll could charge, or he could stay back and let Dunsing cover that area if Lowe bunts it toward that third base line. And as a bunter, what you want to do, you want Jamie Carroll to come in and field that ball.
Bunted in the air, and Butera with a sliding catch. And Lowe fails in the sacrifice attempt. On that particular play, Florimone was cutting behind the runner. It's called the wheel play, right?
Yeah, what you're trying to do is keep that runner as close to second as you can. See Florimone right there, Florimone? But it's bunted in the air. Good job by Butera getting the first out. So you kind of jabbed at it right there rather than get that barrel of the bat out and let the ball die in front of you. Lowe kind of jabbed at it, created that pop-up.
And Ron Gardenhire is going to come to the mound here with runners at first and second, and now one out. Escobar will be the batter.
Watch Drew right here reacting to that ball and picking it up and getting it in the glove for the first out. Good job.
Casey Fiend is going to pitch next for the Twins. season on Tuesday the 25th for a limited time. You can get home plate view tickets for the low price of $25. Deal against the Yankees is only available for a limited time, and you can get it by logging on to twinsbaseball.com or by calling 800-33-TWINS. And while you're at it, check out all the great ticket offers for upcoming games at Target Field.
Well, Casey Fiend coming into the ballgame trying to get out of this situation. Twins have one out, but a couple of runners on. Fiend making his 26th relief appearance. Very good earned run average in 27 1/3 innings. Fiend has allowed only 19 hits. And he's kept the ball in the ballpark. No home runs allowed.
Escobar the batter, first and second, one out. Runners go, and the pitch popped up near the Twins dugout, but out of play. So Ned Yost starting the runners in hopes of staying out of the double play and to make up for the missed bunt.
Well, I think a lot of times, you know, reliever comes in, establish that fastball right off the get-go. I think that's what Ned Yost was hoping that Fiend would do. He throws the breaking ball, and Escobar fouled it off. Fiend has a good fastball, good sinking fastball, slider, and a changeup.
Escobar second on the team in ground ball double plays. 14 times he's done that. Butler's done it 17 times. Another foul pop, 2 strikes.
I think this guy right here has made a very good impression to the Twins. Casey Fiend.
Yes.
Started the season down in Rochester, called up on July 4th when Nick Blackburn was optioned down to AAA.
Two strikes to the Royal shortstop. Just missed the corner.
Waldrop and Robertson loosening up.
Waldrop warming up. Robertson, I'm guessing, will be used to get Gordon unless there's a double play grounder here. See you coming in saying something to Fiend.
Well, maybe looking back twice with the base runner at second base. Hosmer, pretty good speed, 14 stolen bases in 15 attempts, but just keeping them close. Don't just look once, maybe give me 2 looks.
And Fiend deciding he wants a different baseball.
So you can see how close he is to the bag, trying to keep Hosmer close.
Up high, and it's 2-2. Baltimore with a walk-off win at home has beaten Tampa Bay 3-2. The Yankees are leading Boston 5-3 in the 9th inning. Right now, the Baltimore Orioles are alone in first place in the American League East.
That might be the best story in all of baseball right there. The Baltimore Orioles.
Depending on how the Oakland A's situation plays out, I'll agree with you. Oakland has won the first 2 games in Anaheim, and it's done 2 things. It's kept the A's right there within striking distance of the Rangers. It's also kicked the Angels back to 7.5 games out in the West. 2-2 here to Alcides Escobar. Breaking ball and a foul tip out of Gutierrez's mitt.
He took a little off that breaking ball. Gutierrez is going to run the ball back out to Casey Fiend. But you think what Baltimore's done in that division, nobody knew what Boston was going to do. You know, you had You had Tampa Bay. You had the Yankees. But here it is, the Baltimore Orioles here on September 12th in first place.
Oakland A's are 21 games above 500.
Great pitching staff.
2-2 again to Escobar, and a look back at second. What the A's have done in winning on the road, they're 39-30 on the road. They've all but guaranteed now there will not be a wild card team coming out of the Central. Escobar wastes another one, which of course places all the more importance on that Detroit and Chicago series. On the West, 81-60. When the A's were here back in May, they looked like they might be forced to secede from the American League. That's how inept their lineup was.
Yeah, there's a wild card race.
2-2 to Escobar again, and it's 3-2. Fiend missed the corner. Now we'll see what, if anything, the Royals do with the runners here. Hosmer, as you said, Bert, can run well. He's the lead runner at second.
Yeah, a little slow breaking ball again, and wow, Escobar laid off of it.
Gordon will hit next.
You need contact right here. You need Escobar to make contact. No free passes.
4 two-strike fouls in this at bat to Alcides Escobar, and another foul.
I meant contact fair.
Runners weren't going on that pitch. Texas beat Cleveland 5-2.
This will be pitch number 11 in this at bat to Escobar from Casey Fiend.
Man alive, 6 two-strike fouls for Escobar. Does he strike out? Well, he must. Let's find out. Escobar has struck out 85 times. 86 times.
Casey
Walters
Fiend
got him in the first.
Casey Fiend coming into this outing, 26 strikeouts in 27 and a third innings pitched. So he's been able to get some strikeouts.
Another 3-2 pitch. And a base hit to left. Hosmer is being held up. Fumbled now by Doman. And now here comes Hosmer. The throw off target and to the backstop. Kicks off the limestone, and all the runners will move up. So Doman may have taken his eye off the ball to watch the runner who was being held. And when he misplayed the ball and left, Eddie Rodriguez sent Hosmer in, and then an errant throw allowed everybody to move up.
Yeah, second error of the inning. Well, what a at-bat for Escobar. He finally got a pitch and drove it hard into left field. Ball coming up on Domet. Then he wheels and throws the ball toward home plate. It gets by Butera, and both runners advance.
There might be 2 errors on Domet on that play, which would be 3 errors in the inning. And Ron Gartenhire is going to go out to the mound to bring in Robertson to try to keep this awful inning from blowing up in the Twins' faces. Right now, just 1 error charged to Doman. He might get charged for the bobble and the throw before the inning is over with. Robertson will pitch next.
Layson Septimo brought in to get Prince Fielder. Instead, Prince Fielder got Septimo, a 3-run home run.
I love it when he leaves the earth like that when he swings.
And the Tigers have taken now an 8-1 lead, leading to the question, are both Chicago TV announcers still at the ballpark?
Probably left. Well, Casey Fiend, what an at-bat he had with Escobar, but Escobar ended up winning that battle. And Goldman ended up getting 2 errors on that play, so 3 in the inning for Ryan Doman. Tyler Robertson coming in. As the Royals now have a 2-run lead, making his 33rd relief appearance.
Twins have a little choice, but to bring the infield in, they're down a couple of runs. Gordon at the plate. The record for errors on one play is held by a guy who used to sit in the analyst chair on Twins television.
They named the surgery after
Tommy John joked about it on Twins telecasts for the 2 years he did that job. 1 strike. To hear Tommy tell it, and I've seen the video of it, there was a bunt or some number in front of the plate. Tommy bobbled it, juggled it, threw late to first and threw wildly to first. So the juggle was 1 error. The throw into the right field corner was the 2nd error. The return throw to the infield was caught off by Tommy. Then he missed the catcher. So 3 errors on 1 play. That was later in his career, and his chances of winning the Gold Glove probably weren't too good at that point in his career anyway.
Well, what Tyler Robertson needs right here is a strikeout. He's been able to strike out 1 per inning, 21 strikeouts, 21 innings. A lot of them on that slider.
1-2 to Gordon. Cut off by KCA from his knees, fires home wildly. Probably won't be an error charge to KCA, with Giavotella getting a good break from third base. And the Twins have to make another pitching change, trying to keep in this ball game here.
Great effort by KCA from his knees. He threw home, but short hop Butera got away from him. So Gordon hitting it sharply. KCA, you can see the errant throw got away from Butera. Looked like Giavotella was going to score anyway. But he knocked it down. It's an 8-5 Royals lead.
And Waldrop will be the next Twins pitcher. Bases here. Another pitcher, Kyle Waldrop, will try to get a couple of outs here.
Yeah, 4th relief pitcher this inning. Kyle Waldrop making his 12th appearance. Not really a strikeout pitcher yet. He hasn't shown that. 4 strikeouts in 13 2/3 innings. With 1 out and runners at first and third. Maybe get a ground ball off the bat of Billy Butler. Butler already with a couple hits in the ball game, has driven in a couple runs.
Swing and a miss. Big vicious swing by Butler. 1 strike.
Butler leading the Royals in double plays. He's hit into 17.
Inside 1-1. Chop foul. 1-2.
Ball drop, keeping that ball down. That's where you get the ground ball. Now ahead in the count. Let's see if he can get the strikeout.
One and 2 to Butler. Through the hole to left. Escobar will score. And the score continues to mount. Nate McLeod with the walk-off winner at Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
You know, the way the Orioles are going, it seems like there's a new hero every night. It was J.J. Hardy, I believe, yesterday.
McLeod dismembered after this video. What a great story. And the Yankees hanging on by a fingernail at Fenway Park. It's 5-4 in the ninth. One and 0.
Well, Waldrop got the ground ball, but Butler hit it sharp through the infield for his third hit, picking up his third RBI. There are the standings. The American League Eastern Division.
They just posted the final. New York 5-4. And the Rays, as you saw, now 3 games back. Another hit. This one toward the corner. Gordon around third. He's going to score. Dolman's throw to third base hits the runner. And Butler stung by the first hop of that throw. And the Royals had a 5-run 5th, and now so far a 4-run 8th.
Yeah, Perez driving in his second run of the ball game after homering in the 4th. A pitch down and lined it into left field.
Mike Moustakas will hit. Moustakas 1 for 4. Up in front of the breaking pitch. Strike 1. Strike 2. So with Detroit leading Chicago 8-1, if the Tigers win that game, they'll send Justin Verlander against Chris Sale tomorrow, and a Tiger win pulls them into a first-place tie with the White Sox. The Indians have already lost, so if the Twins lose here tonight, there will be a fourth-place tie. Now the batter, Moustakas, hit by a pitch, and that'll fill the bases. This has been every bit as ugly as the 5th inning was. Uglier, perhaps.
Well, that breaking ball getting the right toe of Moustakas. Anderson coming out.
And Robertson in the dugout already. Waldrop will try to pitch out of this. There's still only one out. Twins have cut through a lot of relievers here in this awful inning. Perdomo warming up. The only out this inning. Lowe's ill-fated bunt attempt. It seems like that was about a half an hour ago. Second bat around inning for the Royals. On the outside corner, 1-1. Do you believe that the Milwaukee Brewers are right now? Do you believe that they are right now 3 games back in the wild card? Cardinals have lost. The Brewers taking care of business again, beating the Braves. The Braves might be duplicating their collapse of last year.
Yeah, Brewers now 1 game over 500, only 3 games out.
And the Phillies are 3 games back. 2-2.
Kane doesn't like the call, but who cares? Other than him, of course.
2-2 to Lorenzo Kane. Still 2-2.
Kansas City last night put 2 multi-run innings together to beat the Twins, and they've done 2 so far.
Waldrop catches the line drive, and that'll take care of matters. But a bad inning for the Twins. 3 errors in the inning, and 4 Kansas City runs.
Royals as they are close to losing the first series to KC this season. And on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink, we'll discuss an array of topics, including Denard Span and his big return, making an impact tonight. Span with a triple and a single and 2 runs scored tonight. The triple and single in his first 2 at-bats since returning from the DL. Gardy from the clubhouse. And the instructional tonight is with Tom Kelly. Last night you saw part 1 of infield, the basics of infield play. Tonight is going to be part 2 with a former World Series winning manager. And you know TK, a big taskmaster and attention to details, and had a good time with that last night, Bert. And tonight TK going to be a part of it again.
Yeah, thank you very much, Robbie.
Bring your shin guards?
No. It's not the shin guards I was worried about.
Kelvin Herrera throws his first pitch at 98 miles per hour.
Yeah, Herrera, outstanding arm, making his 67th relief appearance.
Change up at 97.
Yeah, a fastball that can get up in the upper 90s, curveball and a changeup in his 2nd season with the Royals. Watch out.
99, and he nearly clipped him in the shoulder.
Yeah, September call-up last year, Herrera making a club out of spring training. From the Dominican Republic, signed by the Royals in 2006.
Hit 100. And Carroll got a piece to flip it foul. Ouch. Carroll will try to walk it off. Come to think of it, I don't know if I've ever seen Carroll wear a foot pad or an ankle guard.
From the old school. Take a look where this one gets him. See that back right foot.
Wouldn't have done him any good on the front foot. Maybe that's why he didn't wear it. Changeup. It's 2-2.
Yeah, just missed inside.
He pulls a 98-mile-per-hour fastball. Moustakas over to Hosmer, 1 away. Here's the highlights, or some of them, on the 2013 Twins schedule. First ever season opener held at Target Field on April Fool's Day. The 2nd of April is left open in case there's a weather issue on the 1st.
Right.
20 interleague games. The last interleague game against the Marlins in late June. Apparently, and again, it's a tentative schedule, so there can be changes made, but I think it's pretty much going to be the way it was released to the public today. The Tigers close out their regular season next year in a National League ballpark. So can you imagine if the race goes down to the final few games and the Tigers might have to play it, say, without Victor Martinez as their designated hitter because there's no DH in the National League parks?
I'm curious on that Milwaukee Brewer two-way series there, and then they come here. And
right. So what are you curious about?
I've never been involved in something like that. Here you play the Brewers 2 in Milwaukee on Monday,
right.
Tuesday.
And we hop on a bus and we come over here.
You think a bus?
Up the middle. Giavotella. And Hosmer can't field the low throw. And KCA will reach. All right, what do you give him? A hit or an error there?
I give him an infield base hit. Giavotella had to go a long way for this ball. Off balance throw. And it short hops Hosmer. Probably an error. See how they rule it.
I think they've just given him a hit.
Good. Good for KCA.
Here's Butera. Single, a strikeout, and a walk. .99 down around his shoe tops. Ball one. White Sox are trying to make it interesting. They've scored a bunch in the bottom of the 8th. It's 8-5. Two and 0.
This young man, only 22 years old. Again, great bullpen for the Royals. If they can improve their starting staff, they should be a club that I think the rest of the American League Central has to reckon with. A lot of young, talented players.
Fouled into the seats. Pitcher record, by the way, is the Kansas City starter here tonight. Luke Hochevar, even though he didn't pitch particularly well, he's in position to get his 8th win of the year. .99 off the plate. 3-1. Butera fills the count. 3-2.
Hey, you look at Herrera, 5'10", about 190 pounds, but he can get that baby up there, 95 or better. 12 pitches so far of the 15 he's thrown have been 95 miles an hour.
And at least one at triple digits. 99 at the knees. Butera's gone. Out number 2.
And Herrera picks up his first strikeout, his 70th on the season in 76 innings pitched.
Florimone with a strikeout, a fly to left, and a sacrifice bunt. KCA goes. Royals could care less. Strike one. Actually, the correct way to say that is they could not care less.
Say it any way you want. Now, does he get a stolen base for that?
No. Defensive indifference. They're going to give him a stolen base. Hosmer was actually holding him on. Okay. So they cared a little bit.
Yep. KCA gets a stolen base, his 18th of the year in 19 attempts.
One strike. 1-1.
Change up just missing.
That was holding him on. He was standing behind him. Florimone skies one to right center. Low. Giving away to Kane, and that ends the Twins' 8th. We head to the 9th. They're down by 5.
7-5. The Royals thumping the Twins again. As we go to the 9th inning, and Luis Perdomo will come out of the Twins bullpen.
Yeah, Perdomo worked in last night's ball game. He had a clean 7th inning, but then ran into trouble in the 8th. Ended up pitching 1+ innings and gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. 17 pitches, 11 for strikes, making his 8th appearance in a Twins uniform. Twins have used 6 relievers in this ball game now. P.J. Walter started the ball game. He worked into the 5th. Swarzak did a very good job. 2 2/3 innings of shutout baseball.
Ed Yost may bat Hosmer in the cleanup spot or a leadoff spot tomorrow. He's led off 3 times today and reached all 3 times. Twice with a walk, once with a single. 1-0. Foul back, out of play. 1-1. Maybe that's what's been missing. You know, Alex Gordon was struggling for the Royals. They moved him into the lead-up spot, got his bat going. Fouled, and it's 1-2.
Perkins warming up.
Fly to left. And Doman. Catch.
And Perk just getting some throwing in.
That's one thing I think the Twins would like to do before the end of the season is get Perkins in 3 straight save situations. Put him out there to see if he can handle the workload in 3 straight days, and whatever concerns they might have about his durability, put those to bed for the offseason. Strike 1. One strike to Giavotella. Now a ball. Ryan Doman appreciating the sarcastic applause of the fans.
He made the catch and then a little tip. Charged with 3 errors last inning. The last Twin to do that, and I was here. That was my old roomie, Danny Thompson, against the Kansas City Royals back on September 3rd, 1973. I remember at the old Met, I believe Dave Goltz was pitching. And he made 3 errors in an inning, and he went into Goldsey, and he said, Goldsey, quit making them hit it to me. He was a shortstop that day.
I remember watching a game on television at the old Met just to prove it can happen to anybody. Obviously, Doman's had a rough game out there. Mark Belanger, who never hit much, but he was considered to be the best fielding shortstop, or certainly one of them in the American League, and he made 3 errors in one ball game.
Oh, it happens. I just heard from the Thompson family just a couple days ago. Danny's mother, Margaret, is still living in Enid, Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
She is doing fine. Still stay in contact with the Thompsons. Danny, of course, passed away of leukemia in 1976. He and I were traded together, roommates in Minnesota, and then he passed away in December of '76 with leukemia.
But do I remember this right? I mean, he was traded after the diagnosis, right?
Yes. Perdomo picks up a strikeout.
2 down in the Kansas City ninth.
Yeah, he was diagnosed in 1976 in spring training. And then we were traded together to Texas in June.
Here's David Lowe. Twins had a 3-0 lead in this game at one point.
I remember Danny in that first ball game as a Texas Ranger. I didn't pitch. He played short. He went 4 for 4 in that ball game.
Pulled foul.
is a good man, Danny Thompson.
One and one to Lowe at the plate for the 6th time tonight.
That breaking ball just missing. Yeah, last night's ball game, the Royals put together 16 hits. Here tonight, 14 against the Twins pitching staff. 9 runs last night, 10 here tonight.
Throughout the 2 games, the Twins haven't played well in the series. They played kind of a sloppy ball game last night. Biggest play was Josh Willingham losing a ball in the twilight. There's strike 3. Lowe will run to first, and Butera's throw will beat him. And Perdomo finishes the 9th inning in 1-2-3 fashion. Had a 3-0 lead.
Salvador Perez, 2 for 5. He had a home run, his 10th of the year. Now on a 16-game hitting streak, the longest hitting streak in the American League. Bernard Span, in his first time back since spending time on a disabled list, he scored a couple runs, won a triple and a single.
Bernard Span will lead things off. The rally caps out for the few fans who are still here tonight. And quite a story here. Francisle Bueno coming in after serving a 2-game suspension.
Yeah, he's serving a suspension that happened back in 2008 when he threw over the head of, I believe it was Soriano with the Cubs.
Yep.
And he appealed that when he got called up by the Kansas City Royals. It was a 3-day suspension, but he appealed it, and they dropped it to 2.
The reason it took so long, he was sent down right after the game, and as a minor leaguer, wasn't going to be suspended and wasn't going to appeal anything that wasn't levied on him. And so he came back up. The suspension was out there, and last night, yesterday, was day 2 of the 2-day suspension. Span takes outside, 1-1.
Bueno, 31 years old, from Cuba, signed by the Braves back in 2006, defected from Cuba in 2004, and then signed by the Royals over the winter.
Hosmer gets the first hop, and Span is going to beat him to the bag. A nice stop, and Span with some hustle, getting him his 3rd hit of the ball game.
Well, how many times have we done an instructional on pitcher's fielding practice? Get over there. Bueno, a left-handed pitcher, Little late getting over there. Hosmer thought about feeding it to him. And good hustle by Denard Spann.
So we could do all of this. We could do all of this in the instructional. Tom Kelly's a former first baseman. We could get him to dive to his right, then slide on his belly to first. You're a former pitcher. You could show up late to the bag.
I think by the time Tom Kelly gets up after diving, I will be there.
You think he'll be at the bag? One strike to Revere. Bouncer to short. Out at second. Giavatello looked like he almost pulled his foot. Revere reaches on a fielder's choice.
Well, let's take a look at our Jimmy John's delivery of the game off the bat of Billy Butler. 3 hits in the ball game. He's driven in 3 runs. And again, Billy Butler, a good night against Twins pitching.
Josh Willingham will hit. Ball 1.
Willingham getting the Twins the early lead in the first inning with an RBI single, his 103rd RBI of the year.
And a strike. 1-1. Couple games in progress. 8-6 Tigers leading the White Sox bottom of the 9th. Oakland leading Los Angeles 1-0 in the 5th. Two and 1. Talked with Willingham when we were on the last road trip. I think in Chicago when the hamstring injury first surfaced with him. And he said, you know, it does bother him in his batting stance because he gets down into that crouch a little bit. It's not like a Jeff Bagwell type thing, but he is down part way, and you can understand why the hamstring's a little tight. Here's one grounded toward the hole. And Escobar guns it across to get Willingham. Slowed by the tight hamstring. He's retired and on the play. Revere goes to second.
Yeah, nice play by Escobar right there. Don't know if they would have been able to get Ben Revere at second base, who had a pretty good jump. So Escobar in the hole. Once Revere take off, it would have been a close play. He decides to go to first base. What a good strong throw for the second out.
So Morneau will hit. Won't surprise you at all that Jose Valverde is trying to make it interesting in Chicago. White Sox have the tying run at the plate. Pitching to the scoreboard again. Morneau takes one over the inside corner. Swing and a miss. 2 strikes and the Twins are down to their last
Not
strike.
the Justin Morneau swing we usually see. I think he was a little fooled on that fastball. Wait till the last out.
Off the knuckles and just beneath us. There is
isn't much that is beneath us.
Not at all.
Not a good ball game for the Twins tonight. After winning 3 in a row against the Indians. Looks like the Royals are going to win this series in the first 2 games. No swing. Game still alive. Indians lost again to Texas, so unless this game turns around suddenly and dramatically, Twins will remain in a 4th place tie with Cleveland. One and 2. Fouled back and into the seats. Strike ends the ball game, and the Royals scored 10 runs tonight and manhandled the Twins 10-5. Anthony LaPanta, the Twins will hope to win the series finale tomorrow.
They'll have to find a way to slow the Royals, who have scored 19 runs in the first 2 games of the series. We'll look at the return of Denard Span. Tom Kelly's instructional once again focuses on infield defense, and we'll hear from Gardy next on Twins Live.